Top of the morning. Let's get it. We here. It's the date master checking in. I'm gonna chop up some good game yet again. Again, I tell you guys, you should always do an inventory because the more you understand, the more you will flourish, the more you will evolve, the more you will focus on things that are priority. The thing about it is getting game at a certain level or a certain place in life. It is a race. It is a race to information. It is a race to access. For the fathers who have boys, it is imperative that you instill certain information and that you build him up a certain way if you want him to leave a legacy. He has to go through things, has to go through adversities, of course, but there is certain information that can be passed along that could be vital to his development and his him excelling. And what I want you to learn about a woman's attraction is that it is contingent upon the options that she has at that current time. And why do I say current time? It is because every season, if you will, and seasons are short. You have the Indian summers. Seasons are short. Some seasons are long. Every so often, options come in and out of her life. And you notice that, we were just cool, we was cool. And then all of a sudden there was a flare up. Always take heed to your woman's emotional state because emotions are like light switches. They're not triggered or they do not come out or come on until someone hits the switch. And you would ask yourself, well, what did I do to trigger these emotions? Nothing at all, sir. Nothing at all. Someone else who she may be still connected to or have some fond memory of may have triggered that emotions. What women would like to do, because women are liars by nature, they will lie to you in your face, crying tears. So do not be moved by tears. Do not be moved by the deflection and the gaslighting nature that they have. They will lie to save themselves. Hell, some of them will even lie to get a couple 100,000 out of you, just as Chris Brown and other people that look like him. These women will come with these fake allegations in order to get a check. So when her attraction dwindles, this is when you will see the emotional flare-ups because it goes up and down like a roller coaster. I tell you, a woman's turmoil is her peace. Stability, security, balance, that does not appease her. That only appeases her when she's lost the battle in which most, if not all of them, will lose the battle to their own delusion. This is when they've expired. This is when they wore themselves out. In my city, and not just my city, I'm sure you see it in your cities, I see women 40 plus, late 30s, almost 50, still dressing up to go to the club, still taking provocative pictures, still thirst trapping. And you notice when you go down your timeline, you always hear these women, they self-validate themselves. I still got it. I'm still that 40 and fine. There's still room for growth. Yeah, in certain spaces, of course, but when it comes to the relationship, this is when they would pretty much meet their demise because their delusion has won, and it is going to remain undefeated because the delusion and the wall sit on the same they sit on the same throne. They sit in the same space. The reason that she hits the wall and still thinks she has it is because of her delusion. So her current options fuel this. Her past options fuel this, and even her perceived future options fuel this delusion. So when you're going through certain emotional disruption or certain things, her emotions are not triggered by how bad her day was. Because if she's working a 9 to 5, if she's working a job that she really hates, Every day is a hard day. Every day is a hard day because women were not built to be workers long term. That's why they get all this FMLA, this maternity leave. Society knows what it did when they brought women into the workforce. It was an activation of another tax extractor, the true economic engine. When society began to learn the female nature and how she spins and how, that's why all of this data started to be captured. They want to get your email. They want to sign up for our rewards. Sign up for this. They want to track your spending habits. Sign up for this via email. They want to track your spending habits, and 70 to 80% of marketing is catered to women. Advertising is catered to women because women are the emotional spenders. And I'm going to do a video about you're socially engineered to fail in most of your endeavors in life. I will do a video separately outside of this one about that. But her options will dictate her attraction. So when you have a woman that's all into you, she's going above and beyond, she's performing excellent, you are her best option. At the moment, you become and are her best option. When her performance dwindles, when the passion starts to leave the room, another possible option has entered the chat. Someone or something, usually someone, has entered the chat, because women are infatuated with people. Men are infatuated with things. We like ideas, concepts, innovation. Women like people. You look at People magazine. You see these talk shows. These people have to dress themselves up. They got to eat 300 calories a day to keep their bone structure looking a certain way to appeal to the masses. But when you start to see conflict and you start to see certain changes, then her options have grown. She's not looking at you as the most viable option. When you're getting her best at that moment, you are her most viable option out of the bunch. So she would go a few weeks, a few months, hell, maybe even a year or two without looking at options. But the moment the seasons change, the moment the weather breaks, that's why I tell you guys, you have to date a woman at minimum, before any type of commitment, at minimum a year, because you have to see her in all seasons. You have to see how she changes with the weather, how she changes with new social environments, because people are just like moving to a city. Relationships occur the same way. People are moving in and out of relationships almost hourly or daily. Someone is moving out of a city, someone is moving into a city. Someone is getting out of a relationship, someone is getting into a relationship. So these options fluctuate. That's why it's all about exposure. A detail on the type of woman who you would more likely look to date a little bit more serious versus the casual play. Because a woman that anyone can access, that's not a woman that you would want to entertain on a serious note, because she's too easily accessible. I told you guys, again, starting my venture with my vintage store. I'll be working on the website this weekend. I like exclusivity. I like items that are great quality but are rare finds. I do like, you see people with the Jordans, with the J's. Yeah, people super excited, and some of his shoes, of course, it's going to cause a craze across the board no matter what. In most cases, there'll be a limited run and people will have limited access, but other cases, a wide release, everyone can get them, yet you have people going crazy about them, spending almost double if not triple for them just to say they have them. You must ask, why is this? Because people love the attention of being accepted and being in the in crowd. Man, where your J's at? Man, you ain't get the J's. So when you go out, again, these are for people who don't have their own identity. They have to blend in. That's why you have all of the, let's say, the dope boys, the pookies, whatever you want to call them. I see guys, some of my, you know, friends from high school and, college that do what they do on the side, yet they look like they do what they do on the side. It's almost like they leave the house telling the police to harass me. Why would I look and intentionally want to look like a criminal when I'm doing criminal activity? Why would I want to go out my way to look to part? But her options will dictate her emotional mood and her attraction to you, because her attraction to you is contingent upon how you make her look to her peers and how you make her feel inside. It's always a moving train. It never stops. She cannot sit in idle. The moment she sits in idle is the moment that she's going to get into some trouble. That is the moment when you'll see these women late night on the internet posting pictures. Baby, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. No one is up checking for you. But why would I make such a statement? We know you simps do not sleep. You're looking for any and every opportunity to prey on a female with damaged self-esteem. And that's why I tell women, you think you are outsmarting the men that you deal with. You're really not. They see you. We see you. I did the video yesterday about men marrying down. This is not a new concept. You hear these women say, why is he with her? And they joke about the man's wife, but they can't joke about her loyalty. They can't talk about her dedication. And if they do talk about it, they try to demean her because they're not in a position with the man who they respect and admire. They try to shame women out of their femininity. But again, look at her attraction to you. If she's giving you her best, that means you are her best option. The moment you get lackluster performance, you feel the passion. Feelings are a real thing. Energy is a real thing. You know, if you're clairvoyant and empathic, such as myself, I can feel when the chemistry is not there anymore. I can feel when the passion and the attraction has dwindled. You can feel it. Not saying you cannot rekindle, but it's almost like trust. The moment that trust is broken, it's going to be very hard to gain it back. That's why I am the honest asshole that I am, and I won't change that for no one. And the women, again, you can't win with the Western woman because she has been poisoned by social media, by indoctrination and miseducation, and the lack of a masculine man in the household. A lot of women that do have their fathers, and I've had this hard conversation, most of these women's fathers are weak and beta. I have yet to meet a woman's father who has been supreme alpha, and I tell you why this is. And this may be a reflection of my positioning and where I am right now from a socioeconomic status, and you as well. Alphas do not put their daughters in a environment that is not healthy or the top notch. They will not put their daughters in that environment to be tampered with man of lesser value, of a lesser means. That's why when these women go off to college and you hear these women, I heard on Shout Out King Riches, he had a woman said she come from a middle income, $500,000-$600,000 household where she was, tennis club, private school through college. She goes to college and meets a quote unquote roughneck, and she falls for him because she was exposed to him. But most of the fathers, not knocking them, but again, this is just the truth. Most of them are weak. Their women run over them. The women tell them what to do. They jump when the woman says move, and they take pride in this. Oh, man, I just give my check to my woman, man. She called the shot, man. You got to talk to the boss lady. Simp and sucker shit. And wonder why their daughters do not end up with high quality men. And wonder why their daughter ruin or run away from the men that does have standards. They'll sabotage it because it's uncomfortable. Most of the time, a woman is going to seek a man just like her father. And most of the time, depending on the type of mother a man has, he's gonna get a woman like his mother or something totally opposite. Totally opposite. But I may do a part 2 to this video. I'm definitely going to do a video to follow up with the social engineering to fail. But you guys let me know what you think about this video. Like, comment, subscribe. It's the Day Master.